And with that, Tiffany, I'm going to hand the show over to you as our MC. So welcome, Tiffany Allison.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending. My name is Tiffany Allison, and I am a proud member of the Armanino Foundation Board. And I'm here to lead our 5-year anniversary celebration. We're going to have fun, prizes, and surprises along the way. But make sure you stay till the end so that you can hear what we're going to do for our 2022 volunteer vacations. So we're getting ready to talk to two of our founders and two of our top donors for the Armanino Foundation. And that is Andy and Mary. Hello. Let's talk to our audience. Let's talk to our audience about the Armanino Foundation and how it got started. Andy, you were our managing partner in 2016, but I've heard you wanted to start the foundation long before that.
Yeah, hey, it's really great to be with everyone. Good to see people, good to see some faces. Yeah, if anyone came into my office in San Ramon prior to 2016, for a couple years, in the right-hand corner, there were these words that said foundation. But there's a little story to it for sure. Our founders, Tom Jones and my dad, Andy Armanino, started the firm on some very, very basic principles. They wanted to create an amazing relationship with client. They wanted to really be part of clients' lives and dreams. And they also wanted to create a really wonderful place for our people and give our people opportunity. As we grew, it felt like something was missing a little bit, and we started acting on that. One of the things that we did is we started the Great Give many years before the foundation. And the Great Give traditionally was in May. I know it's different this year, but we would all shut our computers and we would give a day of service as an Armanino community giving to our greater community. And it was wonderful. Some of my favorite days, I remember a number of the organizations that I attended, and that was a feeling that all of our people shared with us. And so we wanted to do more, and this concept of foundation came up. And it also answered some of the question that we always have to answer as leaders is why? Why do our people stay engaged? Why do I stay at Armanino? When headhunters call me and say, hey, temporarily, I'll give you a little more money to go over here, why do I say no? And that has to be that there's some purpose behind what we do. Not only is doing the day-to-day things that we do as auditors, tax people, consultants, and operations people important and engaging, but we have to have purpose. And for me, I have a fundamental belief that people are inherently good. And what the foundation did is brought out our goodness. It allowed us, it empowered our souls to be good. And in reality, it became the third leg of a stool. And it may never have happened. It may have stayed up on my whiteboard if someone didn't come into my office one day, and her name is Mary Tressel. And Mary said, Andy, I really, really want to do this. And I said, go for it, Mary. And I'm so impressed with not only what Mary started, but all of you who were involved, the board, the committees, and the Armanino community for supporting it. And I can't believe it's 5 years, but congratulations to everyone. We're doing good and it matters. The world needs a little bit of goodness and we're doing our piece.
Totally. Thank you, Andy.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I was reflecting on this. I was very excited. I was talking to my husband this morning and I was looking through our Instagram and our previous annual reports and looking at the pictures of, we've done 10 volunteer vacations, which was, I actually knew when I came to Andy about the foundation, part of it had to be cool because Andy was really set on Armanino being the coolest accounting firm to work for. So we brought up this idea of volunteer vacations, and man, that was so popular. And we're so happy that Carrie and Tiffany are going to share at the end of this call where we're going in 2022 now that we can travel again. But I just want to share with everyone, I think what's most exciting about this 5-year anniversary is the incredible ripple effect that we have had, that 350 people at Armanino, maybe more than that, have recommended their favorite nonprofit for a grant. Over 5 years, we've been able to touch those nonprofits that mattered so much to all of you. And the trips that we've taken, the great give, the camaraderie that you build on the great give, it echoes across the volunteer vacations, it echoes across the Dollars for Doers program. And when you see your teammate working on something in the community, and that means something to you, that's where we see these dollars flowing in to help us do all these programs. So we want to thank everybody who has donated, who has volunteered, who's read a quarterly scorecard and said, wow, my firm is doing this, or shared it with their family or friends or clients. So each and every one of you play a great part in our success. And that's the message I want to give today, Tiffany.
And thank you everyone for all that you do, because we really could not do this without all of you. And so I am just so grateful and so honored to be speaking to both of you today. And just thank you. Thank you for the idea. Thank you for the heart for this. And yeah, just thank you. It means a lot.
I think the one thing too is imagining, like we couldn't imagine when we started, and we started out with our small funds, that we'd get to $1.5 million. But what will we be like 5 years from now? I mean, the growth and the power of Armanino, the power that we can give back to the community is just so exciting.
Yeah, and I probably could dream where that number has gotten, and probably super excited about what I think the number can become, and not just a number, but the good that we can do inside our communities.
Yeah. So
together. And we're doing it together. And that is what is so awesome. Because we as individuals, we all have our volunteer work that we do. But together we're doing this as a firm, we're doing this as a family, and it's to help all of our communities. And I just think that again, is such an amazing, amazing thing that the Armanino Foundation has done. And thank you again to both of you for the vision. It takes a leader to have that vision. And I just really thank you and appreciate you both so much for that.
Awesome. Okay.
So I think we are going to go and speak with Ken, I believe, on the next slide.
Yes. Are we seeing the slide number 5?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Ken Teasdale. I'm an audit partner out of our Woodland Hills office, a proud board chair of the Armanino Foundation, and the great fortune of being involved since the start. Everything about the Armanino Foundation is based on what is important to our staff and to our local communities where we serve. And from that lens, the foundation's areas of interest were born, and you can see them on your screen here. So they're animal welfare, education and the arts, health and social services, sustainability, and then most recently added racial justice. So these 5 priorities for our grant making and our community service came from the types of organizations that our team members and staff recommended to us at the foundation. These weren't something that the board came up with. This was from our staff. That's how those pillars were born. And a perfect example of that was when Roberto Maragoni participated in our firm's first community conversation. This was after George Floyd's murder in the summer of 2020. And at that time, we had our 4 core pillars, and he recommended that we add racial justice to this list. So Armanino Foundation board met. We had a really great deep discussion and unanimously agreed with Roberto that we should add this to our grant offerings. So we're incredibly proud of these 5 pillars, and we really think that they reflect the conscience of our people and really what's most important to them.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Ken.
My pleasure.
So now we're going to talk about Dollars for Doers. I don't know how many of you have participated in this, but again, another great way to contribute to your community by doing your work. And so we're going to actually speak with Shel Schneider today about Dollars for Doers. So hi, Shel.
Hi, Tiffany.
You're fairly new to Armanino, right?
I am.
And you're joining us from the St. Louis office.
Yes. So as you said, I'm fairly new. Joined the St. Louis office as part of our merger with formerly Brown Smith Wallace. I worked for Brown Smith Wallace for almost 14 years. So happy to be part of the Armanino team. And I will say I first learned about the Dollars for Doers program on the day after the announcement to the firm. So Mary came in and she was talking and told us about the program. And at the time, I didn't think a whole lot of it. There was a lot going on, obviously. I knew I volunteered for my church. And so I kind of kept it in the back of my mind, but I really, just was going with the flow with merger stuff, right? So, but then 9 days later, after announcement day, life happened. And my 11-year-old daughter, Brooklyn, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Completely new to our family. Nothing like this had ever been in our family. We don't have any autoimmune history, nothing. So we were completely just shocked and taken aback. She was hospitalized. I mean, just a couple days of complete stress and heartbreak. She missed her dance recital. She's a dancer. So instead of going to her recital, she was in the hospital. And like I said, instead of having fun, she's learning to give herself shots 4 and 5 times a day to control her blood sugar and realize that she's going to have to count every carbohydrate she eats for the rest of her life to figure out how to dose herself, and just a lot for anyone to handle, but especially a little 11-year-old little girl. So she was overwhelmed and distraught, and we all were, but she kept a smile on her face, and every day she tackles her struggles and her challenges head on. But it really didn't take us very long to realize that even her determined attitude wasn't really going to be enough to ward off all the challenges that she's going to face every day. So we tried a lot of things to kind of keep her spirits up and keep her going. We talked about how could we introduce you to another couple kids that we knew that maybe would, had been through it, or, find people her age that we could introduce her to. And she really just want to. This wasn't really our vivacious kid. And while we didn't want to push too hard, we were really becoming concerned about the emotional toll that it was taking on her and our family. A few days later, really after we were kind of hitting that phase of, okay, what do we do? Brooklyn kind of surprised us. It may have been that she had some money burning a hole in her pocket because she had just sold her pig at our county fair. She shows livestock. So she had that extra money, and she goes, "Mom, can I donate some to diabetes research?" And of course we encourage this, but more so than, just handing off some of your money, that's fantastic, but we really wanted her to find a passion for it. So we started looking, what could we do? And we came up with that Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation was going to have a virtual walk this year. She'd done a walk similar for another friend of hers, so she was kind of into it. To her, it was like, oh, I'm going to get to have a hangout with all my friends, so yeah, let's do it. So looked at the date and kind of cringed to myself because I was like, oh, that's really a busy time and not a big window. But anyway, we decided we're jumping in, we're going all in. And we designed t-shirts and planned our event and started fundraising. And since then, it's just been a lot going on. And in the meantime, I happened to get one of Tony Kalika's, he calls them the STL cast, so our Friday videos, he happened to mention again in one of those videos about Dollars for Doers program. So it kind of clicked, and I just went to the hub quarters to read about it and see what was going on. And as I read it, it seemed so easy. So I sent an email and kind of talked about what I estimated the hours I had in the project were, and told them about our walk, and sent a link to our page. And a few days later, I got an email that Brooklyn's walk group team was going to receive a $500 check from the Armanino Foundation. So it was really, really cool. I was so excited and grateful. I emailed Mary back and told her thank you, of course. And then I emailed Tony Kalika and I said, when Tony announced that we were going to emerge, he told a story that some time ago he had asked what he wanted Brown Smith Wallace to look like in a few years. And he said he pointed to Armanino and said he wanted it to look like this. And so I just told him, I said how grateful I was and that I really understood why he wanted us to look like Armanino. So it was really, really impactful moment for us. And we just really are grateful for the program. And her walk is on Saturday. So we're chugging along. We've sold 56 t-shirts to friends, families, and Armanino coworkers. And right now we're sitting at about $2,200. And by the time I think we get through the walk Sunday, we're hoping to have about $2,500. So we're just really, really grateful for the program and the support of the foundation.
Wow. Joe, that is an awesome story. And I don't know if you know this, but I am a type 1 diabetic.
I did not
And
know that.
I actually was diagnosed at the age of 11.
It's pretty common age, they tell me.
Yeah, so I totally understand. And I would love to purchase a t-shirt. So please let me know.
I will send you, I'll put the link out there and I'll send you a picture of the shirt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. And you guys may be hearing some beeping. That's my insulin pump. So just to give you a fair warning that may be happening periodically throughout this presentation today. But thank you again so much, Shel, for sharing that story.
Thank you. And thank you to the foundation.
Yes. Thank you so much. All righty. So now we are going to be talking about the Impact Awards. Hello, Barbara.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Barbara Carberry, and I support the foundation by doing the data entry, recording all the donations, sending out the thank you notes. And I have to say, my favorite part is every month I get a report to upload. And every month there are more people who are signing up for the payroll deductions, more people who are giving. It's really heartwarming to see the amount of money that people give, even for just, if we have a special thing and we put out hey, would you like to contribute to this? People do, and it's wonderful, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And I've recently joined the payroll deduction, but this is about people who have been payroll donors from the very beginning, and I'm very proud to announce their names, and they will be getting a fabulous Armanino Foundation mug. And the payroll donors from the start are Chris Siegfried, Karen Thompson, Kevin Turco, Astine Aliverdian, Megan Manrique, Callie Baird, Kathy Harrington Wilkinson, Helena Avalos, Sunny Meenow, and Amy Morgan. So if you see them, give them a hand. Good job.
Congratulations, everyone. And if you don't know what those mugs look like, they look like this. If you don't have one, get one. All right. So now we're going to be talking about grant making. And we have Mike with us. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for having me.
I understand that you nominated your favorite animal welfare nonprofit for a grant back in 2019, and they were lucky enough to receive a $10,000 grant during the firm's 50th anniversary celebration.
Yep.
So tell us about your nonprofit and what the big check meant for you and for them.
I mean, that was incredible. So I had nominated the 13th Street Cat Rescue here in San Jose. It's an organization I've supported for years. I adopted my cat from there and rescued him. But it's an all-volunteer organization. They have no facilities. All their cats are housed by foster volunteers. So 100% of their donations go to help the cats and the animals with medical care, medications, funding the foster care program. And they also have a trap, neuter, and release program to keep feral cats from multiplying on the streets. So they do a lot of good work in the community. In 2020, they had 344 cats adopted, and they were able to neuter and spay 420 cats. So they make a big difference in the San Jose community and for a lot of people here. So $10,000 meant an awful lot, and it really advanced their cause a lot.
Wow, that's amazing work.
Yep.
And what a lucky kitty.
Yep. That's true too.
Thank you.
Sure.
All righty. So I think we're going again to volunteer hours. Is that right, Barbara?
Oops. Yes, that is right.
Okay.
And because we track the volunteer hours that people do, and these are the folks who have logged the most volunteer hours from the Dollars for Doers, Armanino Foundation committee work, and volunteer vacations. And they are Alex Castro, Alice Koo, Callie Baird, Emily Lind, Kerry Hunter, Lisa Hagan, Cindy Chu, Jonathan March, Lisa Boyd, and Kathy Thornton. So go gang.
Congratulations, everyone. And thank you for your volunteer hours. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Amazing, amazing work. So now we're talking about volunteer vacations. And I'm excited to introduce Rob Harrison. He's what I would call a frequent flyer when it comes to Armanino volunteer vacations. So Rob, how many volunteer vacations have you been on and where did you go?
I've been on two, had the good fortune to be on two, and my first one was to Catalina Island, and the second was to Chiang Mai, Thailand, hence
Ooh.
the silk shirt. So and they were both markedly different in experiences. The first one, where we went to Catalina, was to the main goals of that were environmental cleanup. One day we spent removing invasive plant species because at some point in the early 20th century, they had plans of making that into a cattle ranch, the island. And so they had planted all kinds of plants to support and feed the livestock. And they just, it didn't work out as a cattle ranch, and those plants took over just as far as the eye could see. And so we spent a day literally chopping down and digging up fennel. So lots of hard work, but tons and tons of fun. And then on a second day, we were doing beach cleanup. And on that one, I was thinking that we were going to go down to a beach and we would see water bottles or chunks of styrofoam. And what it ended up being was microplastics. And so most of us were down on hands and knees in the sand, picking up, we'd come back with a little sandwich bag full of plastic. And we were just like, oh my God, look at my bag. It's awesome. But some of the side things that I just never really anticipated with that one was just the education, because they really did a great job of taking us all down, giving us the history of the island, taking us around the island and showing us things. And we were camping this whole time. And it wasn't, on the ground. It was in tents, but on concrete slabs. And we did have running water, and we had grills, barbecue grills. Shout out to my fellow chef, Tom Bondi. He and I manned the grills, but everybody else was pitching in, cutting vegetables, prepping food. And we would sit around the campfire at night. And one thing I can tell you that we learned, none of us knew if this was going to work, but buffalo chips do burn. So kind of a side takeaway from that. But the other and even more impactful was the trip to Chiang Mai, Thailand. And the purpose of that trip was to teach English to third, fourth, and fifth graders. And they gave us a great orientation, told us about the culture, helped us with some of the common phrases that would become helpful to us. And then we spent a number of days with the kids working through, and they gave us all a lot of leeway on how to come up with a program to teach. And so my group, we were teaching phrases, animals and food. And it was so amazing how, people are people are people are people, no matter where you go in the world. And to see these little kids, and you'd be like, I remember that one. He reminds me of, Tommy from when I was in fifth grade. And so it was just so amazing. And by the end of it, boy, the tears, it was so moving. None of us wanted to leave. And we were just all just in love with the kids. And they were just so generous and loving. And And then the side benefits of that were just being, I'd never been out of the country outside of Mexico and Canada. And so to be able to go to the other side of the world and go to an elephant sanctuary and Thai cooking class and trips to street markets and massages. I mean, just the things that we did were just, it seemed endless. And so, man, I cannot wait till we get back up and running with that. And I look forward to seeing what's on the agenda for 2022. So I will be close at hand with my finger on the send button to register for one of these. So I look forward to seeing y'all at whatever one I end up being at.
Awesome, awesome. That sounds fun. I love elephants, so I would have been in heaven.
Yeah, and it was the thing that surprised me. It was not go ride an elephant. It is really, you feed them, you bathe them. It was really just so beautiful.
Wow, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
I can understand what it means to give back. And I can see just even in your telling of your story and sharing your experience, how much it meant to you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Rob, for giving that.
Thank you.
All right. So we have some more awards.
More top donors.
Yes, love it.
We have some really generous people. I mean, some people just write like one big check once a year. Some people do it all year long through their payroll deductions. Some people do a mixture of both writing checks and payroll deductions. And these are the top 10 people on our staff who have given the most money, and we thank you. And it's Alex Van Dillen, Chris Siegfried, Eugenie Oy, Mike Plisek, Joy Puyer, Kathy Harrington Wilkinson, Lynn Chung, Hunter Niebert, Chris Sublette, and Lori Gahn. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So, looks like we have a big reveal for our 50K grants giveaway. And I have the honor to speak with Kathy Harrington Wilkinson here with me for one of the most exciting parts of this call.
Hi, Tiffany. So glad to be here. I am an operations director in our San Ramon headquarters, and I was blessed and lucky to be part of the initial grants committee when we started this 5 years ago. And I'm just amazed to see how far it's come. It's so exciting what Andy and Mary have created here for us. So as most of you know, we took the entire list of all of our nonprofits that we have at the foundation and that we've ever made a grant to, and we sent that list out to everyone in the firm so that they could vote. And we had hundreds of team members vote in for their favorite nonprofits, and the highest number of votes in each of those categories is going to receive a $10,000 check, which is really astronomical. So I'm excited to hear what that list is, Tiffany.
Okay, so we won't keep anybody waiting any longer, so go ahead, you have the floor. So our winners, they're here, they're on the screen. Thank you everyone for voting for animal welfare. We have PAWS. For education and the arts, we have the Hispanic Scholarship Fund. For health and social services, Soccer Without Borders. For racial justice, Color of Change. And for sustainability, Heal the Bay. Congratulations to all of those grant winners. We are so excited to be able to share in this celebration with you. And we know that you can use it. So thank you for the work that you do, and keep putting it to good work.
There were so many great organizations on that list, Tiffany. I wish we could have voted. I tried to vote for multiple ones, but it just wouldn't let me. But even more exciting is today we have Andy Price from PAWS Animal Shelter here with us to tell us what an impact this is going to make to their organization. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on this incredible milestone with your foundation. It's an honor to be here and to just see how intentional you all are with your giving and the work that you're doing in your communities across the country. I'm thrilled to be here and thrilled to share a little bit more about our work. I am the Director of Philanthropy Events at PAWS. We are an organization based in Linwood, Washington, and we have 3 primary program areas. We adopt out homeless dogs and cats, we rehabilitate orphaned and injured wildlife, and we provide educational programming to help primarily youth learn how to make a better world for animals. We are so blessed to be funded by organizations like yours. And I actually want to share, it's hard to be an animal organization without doing visual aids. So I'm going to share a photo here of just one of the animals that you are helping us care for. And I'm going to move my screen around here. Give me a second. It's always Zoom things. We were honored when Alex Fredrickson nominated us for a grant earlier this year and introduced us to all of you. And Alex is actually a foster program volunteer at PAWS, and he has helped several dogs find their forever homes. And one of the animals that we helped earlier this year is Violet. You can see her on the screen here with her little gray muzzle. We were introduced to Violet earlier this year when a partner organization called us because they didn't have the resources that they needed to care for her special needs. When they got Violet, she actually had a massive tumor on her side that was really painful and was really inhibiting her quality of life. But because we're supported by generous donors like Armanino Foundation, we were able to say yes to Violet. She was transferred to PAWS, and our vet team got started on addressing her medical needs. The first and most important thing was removing that tumor. That provided her with so much relief. She was bounding around. You could really see her personality. She was a really special dog and totally a staff favorite. And you might think that a senior dog battling cancer wouldn't be a good candidate for adoption. But at PAWS, we never give up on animals like Violet. That's the reason we exist. And we were determined to find her a loving family. So the first thing we did was we put out a call to our foster network, people like Alex, and we had a family respond right away and say, yes, we want to adopt her. However much time she has left, she is part of our family. When they took Violet home, we told them that she may only have a month or two, with how advanced her cancer was. We weren't sure how much time she was going to have. Well, that was over 7 months ago. And Violet has been with her family, filling their bonus time together with snuggles on the couch, walks on the beach. I get a little emotional about her story because it's so special. And we're really glad that we could say yes to Violet and give her the loving home that she deserves for however much time she has left. And we would not be able to say yes to animals like Violet if it wasn't for really generous people like you. So that $10,000 is going to create so many other happy endings for deserving animals. And we can't thank you enough for making that possible. It means so much.
Wow, Andy, thank you for sharing that story about Violet. I got my little puppy. Well, she's not a puppy anymore, but
They're always puppies.
She looks a lot like Violet. And so very, very, I'm a dog lover. And yeah, so yeah, thank you for the work that you do. It's very important. So I want to thank you again, Andy, for being with us. And unfortunately, we weren't able to have all of our grant recipients with us on the call today, but we did hear from Hispanic Scholarships Fund Director of Development, Julie Height. And here's what she said. I'm going to read it. She said, on behalf of the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the parents, students, HSF scholars, and alumni, we thank you for the generous gift. We extend to the Armanino Foundation our heartfelt gratitude for your support of Hispanic students and families nationwide. Your donation also directly answers an even broader call to action by helping us mobilize our community to make college education a top priority for every Latino family across the nation. You are helping us lay the foundation for a culture of giving that is stronger than ever. Truly, your dollars are an investment in a better future for our students and our nation. We want you to know that the power of Armanino's 2,000 team members family, and friends is all with you as you continue the amazing work you do in our community. Wow.
Hey, Tiffany, I'm just jumping in here because we got to talk to the other three $10,000 grant winners too. They couldn't be with us, but I just wanted to share a little bit about what we heard on each of those calls. So
Please do.
the Color of Change Education Fund is going to use their $10,000 grant to support scholarships as well and empower students to make a difference in the world. So they were very excited. Heal the Bay organization is in Southern California, and as many of you have heard, there's a huge oil spill down off the coast of Long Beach. So they were very busy this week, but so grateful again for the grant. And then we had a very touching call yesterday with Soccer Without Borders. So it's a youth soccer organization. The kids get to play for free. And Ben, who runs it and is a close relative of Barbara Carberry's, he told us that actually they are now having Afghanistan immigrants who've just come to the United States joining their leagues. And so they're going to be using that money to help get more coaches and more equipment for the students or the kids to play soccer. So all the way around, those impactful grants, as touching as the pictures were, which were great, we're touching lives in lots of different ways. So I just wanted to share that out with everybody.
Thank you, Mary. It's good to hear from folks who are receiving this help and this support. And it really does, again, it shows us a testimony for all of the work and all of the effort that all of us at Armanino are doing together. So it's all of your dollars that are helping us to help these organizations do the work that they're doing. So thank you again. And thank you, Mary, for sharing.
Sure. And speaking of dollars, Ken.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we obviously want to measure our impact, and we're super proud and so appreciative to everybody for their part in some of these milestones. First and foremost, Mary mentioned it at the top of this webcast that we've raised as a group, as a firm, almost all staff and partners as well, $1.5 million since we started 5 years ago. That is incredible. Super proud of that, and we thank you so much for your participation. Of that, we have then granted out almost 1.1 million, 1.082, out to our communities. These are local to our offices and where our folks are, and we have a grants committee that goes through the whole process and makes sure we're giving to very worthy organizations, which we're so proud of. We've also been fiscally responsible and started an endowment. We took $331,000 and put it aside to help with the future financial viability of the foundation. We're incredibly encouraged and hopeful that will grow and grow and grow as time marches on here. So that's been fantastic. Continuing on, it's amazing that we've had 1,400 volunteers that have done work with and for the foundation. We really want to get to all 2,000 by the time the Great Give comes around here, right around the corner. So please spread the word and be involved. We were really honored last year in 2020 to get the California CPA Public Service Award for large firms. So our firm foundation beat out all the other large firms in being so impactful into our communities that we were recognized by the Cal CPA, and that was fantastic. And then lastly, this year, to follow that up, in 2021, the San Francisco Business Times put us as a top 100 corporate philanthropists. So again, for a 5-year-old foundation, that is incredible. So again, thank you all so much for your support and what you've done, both with your dollars, your volunteer work, and all the hard work that everybody's put into it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. Go ahead, Tiffany. Sorry.
The Great Give.
Yeah, so the Great Give. So we're very happy to have Pamela Zilski here from Sunflower Hill. And I know she's going to come on screen here in a moment. There she is. So the Great Give, for those of you who are newer to Armanino, Andy mentioned it at the top of the hour. This tradition started many years ago, but it's our favorite day of the year at Armanino to be able to shut our laptops, don't look at email, and go out and volunteer side by side with our coworkers. And we have volunteered at Sunflower Hill in Livermore, California, many times. And so Pamela's going to tell you a little bit about Sunflower Hill. Pamela, I have to apologize in advance. You gave me a slide and I forgot to put it in the deck, so I blew it. But if you don't mind talking about your organizations to everybody.
No problem. Thank you, Mary. It's an honor to be here. Well, for those of you not familiar with Sunflower Hill, we are a Tri-Valley nonprofit organization dedicated to creating places and spaces where adults with developmental disabilities live, work, learn, and thrive as part of the greater community. We co-develop affordable residential communities for individuals with developmental disabilities, including our very first community, Sunflower Hill at Irby Ranch in Pleasanton, California, where residents have been living and thriving for the past year. We also have a number of unique programs that really enable and support adults with developmental disabilities learn life skills that support independent living, such as our garden program in Livermore, where folks are able to come and learn horticulture skills, and where we also donate the majority of our produce to other local nonprofit organizations. In addition, we have a culinary program and also a social and emotional learning program called Popcorn Chats.
That's amazing. And Pamela, I happen to know our summer interns 2 years ago went out and volunteered at Sunflower Hill, like we will be doing with the Great Give on October 28th. And they were just thrilled at the opportunity to work with your organization and had a great day out in the hot sun in the middle of the summer. But what will our team this year be doing alongside your program participants?
Yeah, well, we're absolutely thrilled to be able to host Great Give volunteers again this year. And our farmer will be having our volunteers helping us with removing tomato plants and then composting them. They'll also be removing a trellis and some straw mulch and then adding in and turning compost. And hopefully there'll be time to also plant some snap peas. So she's got a whole array of tasks lined up.
So we're going to be working hard. And if you guys like compost, this is the one to sign up for it. Sounds like that's great. Thank you, Pamela. We really do appreciate the long-term engagement with you and being able to work at your farm every year. That's fantastic. So all of you, I know we sent out hold the date, save the date for October 28th. So Thursday, October 28th is our Great Give Day. We have opportunities to volunteer across the nation. One of our newest offices, I guess, in New York, we even have an opportunity to volunteer with a theater in New York. We've got several places in St. Louis, the Ronald McDonald House and many other slots there. And if you're a remote employee, and you have your favorite place, and we had Shell talk earlier about Dollars for Doers. There may be places that you're already volunteering in the community. So if you want to spend your Great Give Day at your favorite nonprofit, you're welcome to do that. And additionally, we have virtual volunteer opportunities. So we have great opportunities to learn about supporting different health organizations and also Teach Junior Achievements, which is a financial literacy program for students. So there's just a plethora of things that you can do. And we hope that each and every one of you makes the most of this day. If you're at a live event, you're going to meet new teammates. You're going to have fun working side by side in the community. If you're doing virtual volunteering, please know that every hour you put in is so meaningful to the organizations that we help. So we're excited for that. Also, you should have gotten an email that told you could get some swag. So Tiffany's got an Armanino Foundation t-shirt on. We've got new hats, new shirts, and water bottles. So we really want you to be able to get one of those swag items and show it off on October 28th. So look for a great email on Monday morning, October 11th, with all the details about Great Give, and you'll get to sign up then. And speaking of virtual volunteering, we introduced a new volunteer initiative this year called Financial Literacy. So we felt the impact of the pandemic was really, of course, hardest hit, on the neediest in our communities. And we wanted to try and use our skills as accountants and business people to share the building blocks that people need to get back on their feet. So we created this financial literacy program. There are 3 virtual lessons that we offer. The first is on budgeting basics. The second is on managing your credit score and your credit cards. And the last is resume writing. And we've offered it with nonprofits who help homeless individuals. We've had taught the courses at different community colleges, and it's really taking off. So we're going to share with you a short video about the impact that this program has made. So I need to share my screen. I'm realizing, hold on one moment. Okay. And now we will play that video for you.
By supporting parents and families, we are also lifting up the students. And so I just thought that would be a great program to bring to our Pedrosi Young Scholar families, and then start there and then bring it to our Pedrosi Scholarship recipients as well.
That's beautiful. I mean, because really we believe that, you know, it takes a village, right, to raise a child. And so I think that that's great that you're providing that support for the families that then can provide that support for their children. That's beautiful. Wow, that's great.
So we were able to just bring the program to our first group of families, and we started with the basic budgeting, and the family said, wow, these are great tips. Some of them said, I remember this, but this is going to motivate me to get back on track with my budgeting. And I need reminders of this, and it's important. And oh, I even need my kids to hear this information. So we look forward to bringing the program along with the resume writing and learning about what it means to have good credit and establishing credit to our Pedrosi Scholarship recipients as well. This year, 29% of our scholarship recipients will be the first in their families to go to college. So we're really proud to be really supporting all of the students in our community and a broad range of students. By supporting parents.
All right, so thank you very much for Carolyn. Carolyn wasn't able to be with us live today, so we're really happy to share her video. And Barbara, we're going to ask you to come back on. You get one last award.
Yep. So this last one is pretty great. It's the last of our Impact Awards, and it's about the partners. And I think that maybe people don't know that all of the partner donations are used to match our donations. It's a 2-for-1 staff contribution. So we give $1, they give $2. Pretty nice, right? So please thank these partners who have been, making the donations go even further. And the top donors are Thomas Schulte, Matt Armanino, Scott Copeland, Perry Kaufman, Dave Burlington, Yu Ting Wang, Teresa Brown, Ken Coelho, Caroline Stovall, and Chris Kahlberg. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you. And if you see them in the hallway, stop and say thank you. Please.
Thank you so much, Barbara. And thank you so much, partners, for donating. We really, really appreciate the donations that you all bring. You bring such a great vision, and then you also bring your dollars. So thank you. All right. So this is like probably my favorite part, is talking about volunteer vacations. And so we are going to be talking about volunteer vacations, but we also have dozens and dozens of people like Rob who went on volunteer vacations before the COVID pandemic. So we are excited to share with you the trips we have planned for 2022, when we feel it will be safe to travel together again. So unfortunately, we couldn't do it this year, but we are going to do it next year. So Carrie, welcome, and thank you for sharing about volunteer vacations. I'm excited.
Thank you, Tiffany. We are excited too. So our volunteer vacation committee has put together a great list of trips, But before I share the sites with you, I want to just remind everyone and introduce how the program actually works. So when you sign up for a volunteer vacation, you'll pay a $50 registration fee to reserve your spot. And then you have to get permission from your performance coach to schedule your PTO. Then our committee volunteers will share with you the itinerary for the trip and the details for how to book your travel. You have to book your travel personally, not through Agencia. And then when you come back from the trip, then the foundation will reimburse you for up to 75% of your expenses. You can invite family or friends to attend, but remember the reimbursement only applies to the staff members, not partners or family or friends. So these trips are just wonderful opportunities for each of us to get to know our teammates, team members from all across all of our geographies, our practice groups, and all the various levels of the firm. Okay, so here we go. We're about to announce them. You ready? So our first trip, we have 8 trips that are what we're considering stateside options. The first one will be a racial justice immersion trip. This is an educational trip as well as a home build and rehabilitation volunteer opportunity in the historical Greenwood district where the Tulsa Race Massacre occurred in 1921. We'll also serve the elderly at the Cherokee Nation Indian Territory. Both of these trips are in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. Our second trip is the Nature Conservancy. This will be an opportunity to assist with the natural habitat restoration in the Camasia Natural Area in Westland, Oregon. Our third trip is another natural habitat restoration opportunity, and it's in Catalina Island, California. Both of these, number 2 and number 3, are repeat trips that we've had before. Our fourth opportunity, we'll be working with the Global Volunteers Organization with tutoring and home rehabilitation in Appalachia, West Virginia. Fifth, we have another home rehabilitation opportunity, and this one is in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where we will be working with the SBP USA Restoration Organization. Our sixth trip, one of my faves, I've been there twice, Give Kids the World. This is a Make-A-Wish resort for children with life-threatening illnesses and their families, where we will provide hospitality-type volunteering, and it's in Orlando, Florida. Our seventh trip is the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in Helena, Montana, where we will provide tutoring and home rehabilitation to its residents. And our 8th stateside trip is the Honor Flight Program. This is an opportunity to provide tour guide support for veterans in Washington, D.C. And finally, we have one international trip planned to Hanoi, Vietnam, where we will work with the Global Volunteers Organization to tutor and teach English to children and adults. And that's it. Those are our trips.
So, Carrie, you know that I want to go to Give Kids the World.
I know.
So, can I sign up today?
No, not yet. So we're going to post the sign up in early December so that we'll let everybody get through busy season and everything that's going on right now. And then we'll submit the dates and let everybody know the dates of the trips. So at this point, we're just planning and we're super excited to get back into the communities and be able to help wherever we can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carrie, for sharing.
You're welcome.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What an amazing 5 years it has been for this truly great organization, the Armanino Foundation. Have you ever seen a more powerful webinar than this? Well, this is how we do it at the Armanino Foundation, making the biggest, most positive impact that we can, but with your help. That's the only way we can do it. So we hope you leave this call inspired, and we are so, so grateful for all of your support.
Tiffany,
thank you, everyone.
Tiffany,
Yes.
thank you for being an amazing MC. We couldn't have asked for anyone better. And I want to close out by allowing Andy to have some closing remarks for all of you.
Oh, I guess just real quick. One, agree, Tiffany, amazing. Thank you for doing a wonderful job hosting. Thank you for our guests. Thank you for all the participants. Thank you for you guys and your donations. And one thing that I think about is to have a truly, truly, world-class, amazing organization. It takes a couple things. It takes an organization that's really, really smart. And you guys are smart. And we're good at being smart. Most of you come second nature. We're good at measuring things. And as an organization, we're good at metrics and things we can measure, like realization and utilization, margins, net income. We're great at it. And you have to be. You have to be really good at those things to run a great organization. And you want your employer to be good at those things. But the other thing it takes to be great is soul. And not all organizations have soul. We have soul. You all have soul. And again, I think the foundation is a means for you to express some of that soul, some of that love you have for the greater community. And 5 years, it's amazing that it's been 5 years, but it seems like that. The next 5 will go really quick. We've accomplished a tremendous amount in the foundation, and you're going to accomplish a lot more. The numbers will grow, the impact that you do will grow, and just a really heartfelt thanks to everyone, because it worked, and it worked because of all of you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Andy. And again, thank you so much for all of our donors. We cannot do this without you. The community appreciates it, and we appreciate it so, so much. So job well done, everyone. Let's have an amazing next 5 years, and let's continue giving back and giving our soul to the community. So sending you all off, have a great day, and remember to sign up for your payroll deductions to give back even more throughout the year. So thank you. Bye, everyone.